friends, welcome to First Lady Fashion and Style. Thank you for joining me on today's tutorial. Today we'll be learning how to cut the collar for a shirt. So if you were on the former video where we learned how to cut the other shirts, dress, you're welcome. This is the completion of the video, and if you just want to watch how to make a shirt, how to fix your collar on the shirt, you are also welcome. Please make sure you like and subscribe. After the making of this shirt, we are going to make another type of shirt using another method, so you can choose which one you prefer out of the two. So for the first thing we need to do is this is the shirt collar, this is the shirt dress here. So the first thing we need to do is to take the measurement of the circumference of the collar, the neck where we want to make the collar. And for you to take the measurement, this is how you do it. Now this is the front side, and this is the back side. So I'm going to put the center together where I joined the shoulder here. I'm going to put it together, and here is the neck for the back neck. Here is the front neck, and I have my 1 inch here. Remember, this 1 inch is for the button stand and the buttonhole. So I'm going to hold everything together this way and take my measurement. So this is my tape roll. So I'm going to start from the front here. I know this button stand here is 1 inch, so I'm not going to bother about that. I will just have it in mind that this is 1 inch. So I'm going to start my measurement immediately after it, and I'm going to do this. You have to be very careful when you are doing this and make sure you have it accurate to where I joined my back to it. So to where I joined the back here, I have 4. So I'm going to write down the 4. I'm going to say for the back, for the front neck, I have 4. So I'm going to write it down somewhere as the back neck is 4. And then immediately from that same place, I'm going to continue and measure to the back. It's on fold, so that 4 means by the time I open it, I'm going to have 8. So for the back here, I have 5. So for the back, I have 5 for the back. And then for the front, I have 4. So make sure you do your measurements properly. Depending on how you did your cutting, please, your cutting will determine your measurement. It's not the same thing for everybody. So you determine your measurement. I just want to be sure of what I'm doing. That's why I'm placing my tape roll again to measure. Because if you don't measure it correctly, you may not get it right. Okay, you see, my second measurement is giving me, okay, so I think I'm fine. So now let's draft. So this is important. Let's draft. So for us to draft, you need a paper. You're going to draft your collar, and this is what you're going to transfer to your stay. So I'm going to use a marker pen, but please, when you're making your draft, you can use a pencil. Marker pen is going to add to your measurement, but I actually want you to see what I'm doing. That's why I'm using a marker pen. Or let me try and use this red pen. So that is your the starting line here. And then I'm going to put my ruler here and also make a line this way up. I'm not taking any measurement, I'm just ruling it. I'm not taking any measurement, I'm just ruling the starting line. So for us to begin, let me change my pen so that you can see it clearly. Please, when you are doing yours, make use of a pencil. So this is the starting line here. This line is just my starting line, and here is another line here. I did not take any measurement, it's just the starting line. So what I'm going to do is, on this line here, I'm going to mark, the first thing I'm going to mark is my back measurement. Remember, I wrote it down. My back measurement is 5 here, and then here 5. I will go up on this side by 1 inch this way. Your own measurement can be smaller and it can be bigger depending on the person you are making it for. At times, before you make your collar, you can use your tape rule to measure the person's neck this way to find out how big you want the neck to be. So on this side here, where I have my 5 inches, let me put it here, 5 inches, I'm going to go up this way by 1 inch. So I hope you can see. And then the 1 inch, I'm going to square it up this way. The 1 inch, you can see, that is for the back here. This is the back. That's the back measurement. So immediately after the back measurement, I'm going to do the front. So for me to measure the front here, this space here, I have 4 inches. Remember, the front is 4 inches. And then after the front 4 inches, I have 1 inch. That is for the placket. For the buttonhole in front. That is the 1 inch I'm placing here. So I'm going to, on this side here, I will go up by 0.75. This is 0.75. 0.75 here, and I'm going to connect that 0.75 to this 5 this way. So now remember, here we went up here by 1 inch. So the same thing on this side, I will go up by the same 1 inch here, and on this side I will go up by 1 inch here. So I'm going to measure 4 for the back to get a straight line this way. This one is a straight line here. Just put, I did not measure this line here, but I'm going to measure from here. I'm going to measure my 1 inch. This is my 1 inch, and I'm going to connect my 1 inch this way to this neckline here. I hope you can see that. So this here is the front. This is the front neckline here that I marked. I marked the back, and then here I came up by 0.75 here. I came up by here, from here I came up by 0.75 here, and I marked my 1 inch. The same 1 inch I marked here, I marked the 1 inch here. So don't forget, I'm still going to mark the 1 inch here. Remember that this one is the front here. I'm just going to mark the line up this way. This line is not measured, I just marked it up. So I'm going to mark my 1 inch here too, my 1 inch, and I'm going to connect the 1 inch to the front this way. So this is the back neckline, this is the front neckline, and this here is the 1 inch button stand here. So on the button stand here, I want to curve it. I want to give it a little bit of curve. It is not compulsory, you can leave it straight. But you know the way the shirt collar has this little curve here. So that's the curve I'm giving it there. So the next thing is, I'm going to come back to this side again, and I'm going to measure another 1 inch here. And then this 1 inch, I'm going to use my curved ruler to curve this 1 inch to meet this mark, this sharp point here where the front stopped here before the 1 inch. I'll mark it this way. And then the next thing is, this here is the small collar, that is just like the bishop or the mandarin collar under. So now I want to construct the main collar up. So I'm going to put this at 2 inches here, and then on this is 2 inches. On this side here, I'm going to draw a line this way. This line is just going to go, I'm just going to follow my ruler this way, and I'm going to just go up like that, like a slant line. And on that slant line, I'm going to measure. You can measure 2.5, you can measure 3, depending on how big you want, how long you want it to be. So I'm going to leave it at 3 there, and then I'm going to use the same ruler to curve from the 2 inches here to meet this one here. I can make it smaller, but I like my collar to look like this. So it is as simple as that. We are done with the construction of this collar. You can see it's very simple. And the next thing we are going to do is to cut this collar out this way. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. It's the time for you to subscribe. If you want to see how we make the collar shirt, you can also watch the first video. Okay, so this is the upper side of it. We are going to cut the lower part of the collar this way. So you can see that it's very easy, and I'm going to show you how you are going to sew this collar on your shirt. It's also very easy. Just stay with me. So we are done with the collar. You can see this is the upper side and this is the lower side. You can see it's very simple to make. So let's quickly go into the interface. So you can either use a collar stay. This is a collar stay. If you want it to be really hard, you can use a collar stay and cut, and you can use a paper gum depending on what you want. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use both. This tutorial, I'm going to use a paper gum, and then you will see the effect, how it looks. In the next tutorial, I'll be making another type of shirt, and I'm going to use this paper gum, so that I'm going to show you how to use the paper gum and how it looks. But for this project, let us use this paper gum. So this paper gum here is on fold. Please make sure it is on fold, because we are cutting our fabric on fold. Remember, this is just one side of the neck. We have to complete it on fold, and we are going to cut 2 of each. So I'm going to put my paper gum this way on fold, because we need 2 of each. We need 2 of each. Okay, so this is the first one here. This is the second one. This place is going to be on fold. So I'm going to put it here. This part is on fold. You can see it's on fold, and I'm cutting 2 of it. This part too is on fold. So I'm going to use my pin to hold it. I'm going to use my pin to hold it down. I'm going to cut the exact size. The exact size. No, we are not adding any sewing allowance to this. I'm going to cut the exact size. It's when we are cutting it on the fabric that we'll cut the sewing allowance. So this is just going to be the exact size of it. It is very easy. Watch the video and pay attention to every detail. Okay, so this is the upper collar of it. Okay, So it's as easy as that. So this is it. So I have my color gum and I have 2 of it. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to attach this to the fabric we will use. I'm going to iron it, and then we are going to add 1 inch allowance after attaching it to the fabric. So let's attach it to the fabric. I'm going to show you what to do next. So right now I'm going ahead to infuse the hairstay, the paper gum on all the 4. This, the collar, and this, the inner one, that is the smaller one. This is the smaller one, and this is the upper one here. So I added 1/2 inch. You can see I added 1/2 inch on both sides. I added 1/2 inch. So after spreading the stay on the fabric, look at this is the fabric. After you iron your stay on it, you will add 1/2 inch by the side and 1/2 inch all the way. So the next thing we are going to do now is I'm going to sew. This is the upper, the collar, the upper one. This here is the mandarin, the smaller one. So for this one, I'm going to put this back side facing the back side this way, and I'm going to sew it together. Now I'm going to sew only the top part here, following where I have my stay. I'll sew it this way, this way, this way, and then I would still leave the lower part here. I will not sew it. Then I'll come back and show you the next thing. So right now I'm done sewing this way. So I'm going to trim it a bit. I'm going to trim it, and then I will turn it to the other side after trimming. After trimming, I'm going to turn it this way, and then I'll iron it. So I have turned it. Make sure you apply this, your steam iron. Your steam iron will help you to press down properly. Apply a lot of steam on both sides as you iron. So now you can see the shape of our collar is coming out, and this is the lower part, this is the upper part. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in the mandarin, the smaller part of it, and we are going to sew it this way. Now before we do that, I'm going to look for the midpoint of this collar, and then I would either notch or give it a mark. So I'm just going to put the collar together this way, and at the midpoint, to be sure of where the midpoint is. So this is it. This is the other one. I'm going to match it up. I've already notched the midpoint for this one, so I'm going to put it together this way. The midpoint matching the midpoint here, and this other one too. This is the midpoint here on the other side this way. Now the front facing the front, the back facing the back this way. So here the midpoint here is matching up. I'm going to use my pin to hold it down this way, and then I'm going to sew it. I'm going to sew it here, I'm going to sew it here, and I'm going to sew it to the other side this way, joining this place and this one together. I'm going to sew it down. So this is it after sewing the two together. You would open it up this way. You can see that our collar is gradually forming. you would open it up this way and you give it a very good press. Now we are going to iron it this way because this is the side we are going to attach to our shirt. So but we are going to press it down here first properly, and then the next thing we'll do is we'll attach this side to our shirt. So right now we are done with the sewing of our collar and I've ironed it. You can see, don't forget when you're sewing this part to sew the curve down and leave like half or 2.5 inches here. This is the one we are going to use to attach it to the body. So you can see it looking well ironed out. This is the inside. So right now we're going to bring our shirt. At this point, if you have not taken your measurement rightly, there's going to be a problem. But if you have taken it rightly, all you need to do is to locate the center. I'm going to put it together this way and then locate the center. And then since this is the center of our shirt, I'm going to put it together this way and then pin it. And I'm going to sew from the back. I'm not sewing the two together. I'm sewing just one side of the collar this way. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to sew one side of the collar this way. So I'm going to sew it this way from where I have my button stand here. I'm going to hold it together and sew it to the other side, and then when I'm done, I'm going to use this one to cover it up. So I'm going to show you when I'm done. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it this way and I'm going to sew it this way from the collar, from the back to the inside. I'm going to sew it this way. I'm going to sew it this way. So I'm done with the first attachment this way. You can see the back. You can see the back laying properly. So the next thing I'm going to do now is for the inside, I am going to fold it in this way. This way, I'm going to just give it one fold. This will be inside, and then I'll just fold it this way on it. I hope you can see that. I'll fold it on it this way, and then I'll sew very close to the edge and close it up. Okay, so when you're sewing, make sure you sew very close to the edge this way. Just wanted to see how I'm sewing it. Make sure you sew very close to the edge here. It gives you a neat finishing. So I'm just going to finish it up now and show you what we have. So you can see we are done, neatly finished. This is the outer part, and you can see the inside too is looking well finished. So this is it. This is the button stand. So I'm going to iron it now. This is the collar. I'm going to iron it now and put it on the mannequin for you to see our finished product. This is the final outcome of our collar. You can see it looking nice and it is laying well. This is the back view. It is laying very well. So thank you for watching, and this is the old dress shirt. If you want to have an idea of how to cut your dress shirt, just click on the first video and you will see how to cut this beautiful dress shirt for female. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye for now.